President Donald Trump has dramatically shifted tactics in the Persian Gulf, calling off planned military strikes against Iran just as tensions hit a boiling point. The American strategy relies on extreme brinkmanship, threatening direct escalation before abruptly pivoting toward high-speed diplomacy. Trump announced on social media that Washington is pausing attacks in expectation of rapidly finalizing a deal. Negotiations are set to resume on Monday, with both sides addressing the full reopening of the vital Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program. By abruptly pausing military action, Washington is testing whether aggressive pressure can force a diplomatic breakthrough without triggering a wider regional war. Media outlets reveal distinct angles on how this sudden diplomatic window opened. The BBC highlights Trump's claim that the perimeters of a deal were already established after regional nations intervened. Meanwhile, CNBC emphasizes that the latest proposal requires returning to negotiations over the thorny issues that previously derailed diplomacy. Reporting from the New York Times adds critical context, confirming that Saudi Arabia specifically urged Trump not to renew military strikes. Furthermore, Al Jazeera reports that negotiations involving Oman over the Strait of Hormuz are in their final stages. Together, these reports show how intense pressure from Gulf allies helped steer Washington away from immediate military escalation. The threat to global energy routes makes the Strait of Hormuz the central focal point of this standoff. Global markets reacted immediately to the pause in military action, with crude oil prices falling by over 4% on Monday as investors removed geopolitical risk premiums. The primary goal of these rapid negotiations is securing the full reopening of this critical maritime choke point, which directly impacts global fuel supplies. Trump claimed that holding off on strikes was necessary to allow diplomatic progress regarding maritime access. However, using energy corridors as diplomatic leverage creates extreme volatility, leaving global markets hypersensitive to every sudden policy shift between Washington and Tehran. While public headlines focus heavily on imminent peace talks and falling oil prices, the coverage collectively underplays the severe underlying security risks that persist on the ground. According to reporting from the New York Times, during a previous fleeting truce, Iranian strategists covertly devised plans to expand the war using regional proxies, aiming to raise the costs for Washington if attacks resumed. That threat is not theoretical. Kuwait recently downed Iranian drones as the broader Middle East prepared for potential escalation, while American embassies warned of unforeseen conflicts. This hidden friction shows that beneath the public diplomatic push, the potential for rapid military spillovers remains dangerously active. Washington's rapid pivot leaves the future of Middle Eastern security hanging on whether a deal can be finalized in days. Tehran has urged the United States to honor existing memorandums of understanding, even as symbolic gestures like a 10-foot-tall Golden War trophy mocking Trump appeared in New York. The real test is whether extreme leverage can force lasting concessions on nuclear capabilities and maritime routes, or if it merely delays an inevitable clash. If negotiations stall on Monday, the fragile pause could shatter, plunging energy markets back into crisis and proving that fast-paced brinkmanship carries immense long-term risk for every party involved.